Hello team, a Monday morning message for you, and I certainly would encourage you all to maybe go back and re-listen to my Thursday T-mail message. And I'm not going to be replaying many of the constructs from that message, but I think it's all very, very important that we're all on the same page and that we are thinking and heading towards the same way. And so trying to up my communications to you all. I know I've been doing more weekly emails, but I think I'm going to go back to doing more of the video just so that everybody can hear directly from us where we're going. As we think about the second half and we think about the message that I delivered Thursday, I want us to think about basics in every part of our business and making sure that we're doing those first. And I think when I see the issues that we're having, it's never complex things. It's always lack of execution at basics. And for me, that starts with the employee experience. And that's a broad descriptor of items, including the whole hiring, onboarding, and the culture, and the relationship, and all of those things. There's usually at some point in time, obviously, breakdowns that occur that cause us difficulty there. But for us at Trilogy, it's got to start with that employee experience. And in the service area, we've had deficiencies again, but these are not surprises. We've had breakdowns, and certainly those cost us in service failures, whether it's healthcare or hospitality. Our CCM, I was in one CCM last week. It was absolutely horribly done. Director of Health Services was not there, but we can't always count on having our leaders there, so we have to hardwire in great processes, and this was less than our standard. And I think if you go around and see where we've either had regulatory issues or other service failures, we're violating our basic procedures in some way, shape, or form, whether it's service standards or processes, in admission, you name it. You get the idea. It's really all about basics, including the last one, which was mentioned, and certainly not least, is financial stewardship. We've had payroll that's been too high. We've had expenses that have been too high. And those are both 100% under our control. It's a little frustrating to me and disappointing that we're scheduling more hours than we need to based upon our census. I don't understand that. That is us voluntarily saying we want to do more than is needed. Likewise, our ordering. And, I heard through the grapevine last week that some people were not even on the varying call that we had scheduled at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the morning of T-mail that I'm talking about this rollout. And I just understand that execution. It's not optional. And it's not optional to staff our facilities to the level of the census. We don't have the luxury of just wasting financial resources. If that happens, we're going to get in a doom loop, because then we're going to have to cut out all the training, all the extra things, all those things, because we can't manage our payroll and we can't manage our expenses. Last time I checked, that Gordon's food truck doesn't show up unless we put the invoice request in and make the order. Same for supplies, copying, you name it. So again, think about the basics. Don't overcomplicate this. The second one that I want you to think about is we got to get better in communicating. We're just in this mode of thinking an email is communication, or not even sending out an email. We've got to coordinate our efforts better. We've got great teams of people, great things happening, but we have to work synergistically as an organization. And to do that, we have to have relationships. We have to know people. I encourage to take people out traveling. I've been saying that for a long time. I'm not going to mandate it. I'm just going to fire those that want to be loners or those that don't want to go to the field, and I'll get some people in here that will do that. I'm not going to mandate you how to do your job. If you're not doing it the Trilogy way, I'm going to get people in here that will do it our way, because I know it works. And emails and text messaging is not communication. It is a form of it, but it's not the most desirable. I do it, we all do it, okay? It's on me to be better in what I'm doing, and I'm taking the steps. I'm asking you to join me, because when we communicate better, we get ownership, we get synergy, and we get everybody on the same page. And we haven't had that. Even in my rounding, I'm talking to campuses. I'm like, hey, Care Tracker's coming. And people are like, nurses even. What? Care Tracker's coming back? Didn't know it. All great. Well, why does the CEO have to be out to tell somebody that something's happening that is a mission critical event for us? Lack of communication. We're not going out there and doing the same thing that I do. I go to every campus when I make a round, and I talk to every employee, and I have a message, and I communicate. Why can't you all do that? People shouldn't be surprised, and you'd be hearing about benefits from the CEO. They hear about scholarships from the CEO. They hear about changes in business strategy. They hear about new facilities that are in their markets from the CEO. And I'm always surprised, like, doesn't the ED tell them anything? Doesn't the DHS? Doesn't the DVP? Doesn't the employee support? Doesn't the dining services people? Communication. We got to have it to reach where we want to get. We got to be better in communication. And last but certainly not least, you're going to be hearing probably a little bit more Monday morning quarterbacking out of me. It's my job, and since the buck stops on my desk, when we don't do well, I need the Monday morning quarterback, and I need to let you know why it didn't go well. And so, when I'm out there and I'm trying to train, don't take it personally, okay? Don't take it as anything other than if we want to reach and be the organization that I know we all want to be, we have to learn from our mistakes. I'll give you a classic example because I had a lot of time to think about this one. Point of care with Matrix Care and the difference between Care Tracker. And I'm not faulting the people on the selection committee with one exception. We never had our caregivers who were going to use this appliance and this program demo it. And it goes to the heart of our business is that we're field level led. And I would not ask anybody, just like when Varian, we had 10 campuses demo that thing. The finance team learned their lesson. We've had it out there a long time. It's field led. It's going to go better. Will it be perfect? No. iSIMS, we didn't do that. We just selected it and we were rolling. We moved away from ADP, which had a selection process, talent selection, whatever you call it. But bottom line, neither one was really field tested, okay, and it's not worked, okay? We're in the process of trying to make it better. We violated some core tenets. Change of business peer reviews, I'm not worried about it. We're doing it field-wise. We're going to go field test it. We got lots of great EDs and DVPs and, leaders on there, nursing leaders. I mean, it will go better, okay? Dining services, every discipline's represented from the field. And we're having a blast learning more about our business. That's how we do it at Trilogy. That's how we roll it. It's field level. It's not in the home office. It's not, us coming in and acting like we know the business. Our people, and I guarantee you one thing, if our caregivers had used point of care and been asked their opinion, they would have told us it sucks, and it does, okay? And, that's shame on me that I didn't think about that ahead of time. I could blame myself, and I do, because the buck stops on my desk. So when I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, let's, don't worry about it. Let's learn so we don't repeat the same mistakes again. Last but certainly not least, we've probably not done as well over the last couple years in building teams. And I think, the campuses and the divisions that understand, and the departments even, about building teams, they do the best. Clearly, in those campuses and those departments at the home office that don't attract the very best and brightest people, and then B, don't have what it takes to make a decision on an employee for an exit. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, that's a tough call. But for us to be the best healthcare company in the Midwest, we have to have the best people. And sometimes all of us make hiring decisions that are incorrect. And I've certainly done that in the past. And I've had to let go even close personal friends of mine, or had that conversation with a senior executive that says, it's probably not right for you here anymore. And I've done that with the COO on down to the chief legal officer, actually 2 COOs, okay, CFOs. I've done it. I'll make those hard calls when they need to be made. And I see our departments not making hard calls on people that are taking advantage of us, or trying as hard as they can. But if they can't do their job, they can't do their job. So rigor is required to build teams. And that includes us getting out and working hard and networking so we can find better talent. I give Leanne Barney credit. She has jumped in and started, because our recruitment efforts were so poor, she's been identifying strong clinical people that we need to attract in this company in her spare time on LinkedIn. And I think, that's just a sign of what her commitment is to this organization, that she's the one that's actually out doing what we should have paid recruiters doing for us. And so those days, we can't really do that, the size of the organization. And I think you'll see that in the area, Michael Bryan is working very hard to rebuild this portion of the organization to be at peer class level so we can have access to the right talent. Because I think all of us agree working at Trilogy is a great place. Okay, we do have a great employee experience. We have the right values. We have the right culture. And if you want those kind of values and culture, we're your place. And so all that stuff is great, but again, let's just go back and revisit. Great services come only after great employees and great employee experience. So we got to start there. Secondly, we got to be really sharp on our basics. We've got systems that we have to execute on. Last week in my rounding, I met an employee. It was their very first day of employment. They were on the floor working. And this young lady looked scared to death. No 3-day orientation, no, onboarding, no afternoon role observation, no preceptor. She's going to turn over. And we've just messed up on basics. So you can see how important all of this is to our success. And when we have failures, look ourselves in the mirror, check the basics first. I bet you'll see what happens. So you all have a great week. Yes, pressure's on a little bit, as it should be, because we have to do better, and we haven't done our very best. I don't have a problem in saying that. And certainly, we all just need to get out there and work smart, work hard, communicate, pay attention to the details. That's the basics. Things will go much better, and life will get better as we move ahead together on our journey to be that best healthcare company in the Midwest. As I said last week, this company's built for headwinds. Let's just all get together and just sort of like the birds flying south in the winter, if we all fly together and take turns taking the lead to hit the headwinds and work as a team, it'll go much better. So have a great week out there. Look forward to connecting with everybody. And if I can support the mission or your department in any way, shape, or form, I'm only an old-fashioned phone call, fax. Okay, you can email if you need to as well. Take care.